Recently, more and more Canadians have started standing up to the Trudeau government's asinine run-in of our country. It's becoming ever more apparent that the Liberals have an agenda that will see Canada lose its sovereignty and remove the Canadian identity as we know it. Now, Canadians on a whole are a generous and kind people who are enriched by a wide breadth of cultures and ideologies. But at our core, we all want to prosper, help one another, and leave others in peace. Now, I would like to read you a letter from one of our veterans, one of the heroes who fought to secure our freedoms. This letter was brought to my attention by a man named Cruz Gleifsnam. Thank you for sharing this, Cruz. The name of the veteran who wrote this letter to the Prime Minister is Gord Hockridge. Thank you, Gord, for taking the time to write this and sharing it with all of Canada. Now, Canada, here is what Gord has to say. He says, Mr. Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, when I joined the military, I swore allegiance to God, Queen, and country. I've never stood down from that oath. You have attacked all three of those very precious entities I swore to honor and protect. You and your party were legally voted into office, I think. However, that does not give you carte blanche to completely change Canada into a country aligned with the United Nations, social justice warriors, and globalists. Canadian values you often speak about are not the values of most Canadians. Tell us, sir, if you get your wish, referencing a global governing body, how will it govern? Certainly not by democracy. A democracy requires free thinkers and a free people. A global government can only be governed, no, ruled by, a dictatorship, much like your favorite country of China, where elites will be at the top and hard-working people like myself relegated as mere worker bees doing the bidding of elites like you. You have attacked free speech, even legislated against it. You have ignored our border security, thus making Canada a less safe place to live. You have manipulated the mainstream media. You cater to known and convicted terrorists while denigrating veterans. You have grossly mismanaged Canadians' hard-earned tax money. You are tampering with the election system, and you are blindly following the actions of the EU on migration, knowing full well what that has done to Europe. Yet you insist in taking Canada over the proverbial cliff with them. Why? In preparation for globalism? That can be the only answer. What is your endgame, Mr. Prime Minister? Please have the intestinal fortitude to explain during question period to all of Canada just what you and your Liberal Party plan to do with this great nation. Make no mistake, Canada is a great nation, though in the last 3 years has been battered and assaulted by you and outside forces undermining freedom and sovereignty. Mr. Trudeau, you are my Prime Minister in name only. Anyone who wishes to drag Canada into third world status, dismantle its freedom, surrender her sovereignty, and desecrate those who sacrifice to make Canada a great nation is indeed my enemy. You, sir, and your far left party are fast becoming my enemy. Unlike your Antifa pals, I don't hide behind a mask. My name's at the bottom of this letter. You see, Justin, that's what free people and people with integrity do. They stand up against tyranny. They don't ignore it or hide from it. History shows us that oppressed people address tyranny in every possible way required to preserve freedom and sovereignty. In closing, I always knew Canada had enemies, but I never thought the most dangerous enemy this country would ever face would be its own government. As the saying goes, I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. You are underestimating the intelligence and resolve of Canadians. Signed, Gord Hockridge. Well, Canada, once again, I have to say thank you to Gord. I just want you to take a moment, maybe do a little research on exactly what this government has done. They just fail at every opportunity. Canada is not a global entity. We are a sovereign nation. We do not need other countries or world leaders telling Canada how to govern our nation. We are Canadians. We tell our government what they should do for us. Not other countries telling them, us. We voted them in, they're accountable to us. So in closing, Canada, be like Gord. Stand up, be heard, share your ideas. Now, we are not always going to agree on every detail of everything, and that's fine. That's what a free democracy is for. But make sure you understand exactly what is going on in Canada and where this path the government has taken us on is leading to. Thank you, and have a good day.